My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake. Good morning. This is Joe Carlisle. Welcome to Joe Knows South Lake. How are you today? It is August 28th, and big news in town is the hurricane. We're going to talk about that for a little bit. And today we'll actually be interviewing Otis Taylor from the Give a Day Foundation. So I'm really looking forward to that. Otis is a really cool guy, but I'll talk about him in a minute. So today is National Power Ranger Day. Do you remember the Power Rangers? Power Rangers were big. How about you, Jay? You're young enough. You had a Power Ranger, didn't you?
I had all the Power Ranger toys.
All the Power Rangers.
All of them. I love the Power Rangers.
The white Power Ranger and the black Power Ranger and the red Power Ranger.
The green one.
The green one.
That was cool.
The blue one.
The blue one. They had all of them.
All of them. You know, Power Rangers was a little after my time. You know, I saw early on that the whole show, the Power Rangers, was only designed to sell toys. But I had kids and boys, and it really didn't matter. So National Power Rangers Day, if to celebrate Power Rangers Day, I don't know how the official celebration of Power Rangers Day is, but this was the beginning, in my opinion, of the Japanese takeover of our culture with anime and things like it.
Well, let me ask you, Joe, if you had to pick, what color Power Ranger would you be? If you had to dress up today for Power Ranger Day, which one would you come dress up as?
I'd be Red Power Ranger.
Oh, that's okay.
Come on, I'd be the Red Power Ranger. But here's the thing, you know, I can remember there was actually the PC culture wars were starting when Power Rangers were really getting big, and there was actually some issue between White Power Ranger and Black Power Ranger. And there were people that said that Black Power, White Power Ranger was always the leader. And so there were people that said that wasn't cool because Black Power Ranger was subservient to White Power. Again, completely ridiculous, right? I mean, it's Power Ranger Day. We've moved beyond that. If you had a Power Ranger, dig one out. Look, if you still got a Power Ranger.
I still have one?
Do you still have one?
I don't have one, no.
If you have a Power Ranger in the box, it is worth tens of thousands of dollars. One of the original ones. You can't get one it had to be one of the 12-inch dolls. No, and yes, they were dolls. Action figures, excuse me. Let's be PC.
Yeah, let's get it straight, Joe.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on. National Power Ranger Day. Something to have some fun. So, the news. You have to be living in a cave or only watching me to get your news to not know there is a hurricane in the Atlantic. It's about to hit Puerto Rico. Looks like it's going to be a Category 2. Thoughts and prayers go out to all the people in Puerto Rico. There is some question as to whether any of the recovery supplies that they were given 2 years ago. Come on in. I like this.
Yep. We have a new guest in the neighborhood.
This is our guest. Come on in.
All right.
This, folks, can you see him?
Yes.
All right. This, Otis, you can sit right over there.
Okay.
We're actually live, so you're doing good. This is Otis Taylor. He is our guest with the Give a Day Foundation. We'll be talking to him in just a minute. Look, I want to take a quick break here. We want to thank the sponsors, Mary Rhodes and others. We'll be back in just a minute. My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake.
Welcome to Erica's Tea Room.
Located in the heart of downtown Claremont, this specialty tea shop offers a traditional high tea experience that can be enjoyed with family and friends. While here, you can choose from over 100 teas from all over the world, and a multitude of teapots are available for purchase. Join us for lunch or choose from one of our special evening events. Call to make a reservation. Erica.
Saturday night, October 5th, Claremont, Florida, get ready as Local Pro Wrestling presents Fight Fest, featuring 6 hard-hitting matches, including Austin Avalon, Ali Mohammed, Jake Shadows, the British chap D-Wayne, Danny Malo, Josh Dawkins, and former TNA superstar Mr. 630 Jarrell Clark. Matches already announced: The Technical Alchemist, David Mercury, against Aaron Epic. In the semi-main event, a 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal. And the main event for the evening, former WWF WCW superstar, the Cuban Assassin, takes on the marquee Bruce Santee. Adult tickets are $15 and children ages 5 to 12 are only $10. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite. For more details, follow us on Facebook at Local Pro Wrestling or visit localprowrestling.com. Come support Local Pro Wrestling live.
Welcome to Erica's Tea Room. Located in the heart of downtown Claremont, this specialty tea shop offers a traditional high tea experience that can be enjoyed with family and friends. While here, you can choose from over 100 teas from all over the world, and a multitude of teapots are available for purchase. Join us for lunch or choose from one of our special evening events. Call to make a reservation. Erica's Tea Room, making memories with every cup.
Saturday night, October 5th, Claremont, Florida, get ready as Local Pro Wrestling presents Fight Fest, featuring 6 hard-hitting matches, including Austin Avalon, Ali Mohammed, Jake Shadows, the British chap D-Wayne, Danny Malo, Josh Dawkins, and former TNA superstar Mr. 630 Jarrell Clark. Matches already announced: The Technical Alchemist, David Mercury, against Aaron Epic. In the semi-main event, a 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal. And the main event for the evening, former WWF WCW superstar, the Cuban Assassin, takes on the marquee Bruce Santee. Adult tickets are $15 and children ages 5 to 12 are only $10. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite. For more details, follow us on Facebook at Local Pro Wrestling or visit localprowrestling.com. Come support Local Pro Wrestling live.
Welcome back. I want to again say thank you to our sponsors. Make sure you utilize them if you have any questions about the sponsors or an opportunity to become a sponsor of Joe Knows South Lake or the new station, southlake.tv. Just reach out to us on our website. You can also reach me at onejoeknows@gmail.com. So that said, this is Otis Taylor. Otis is with the Give a Day Foundation. Actually, he created it. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but I wanted to finish talking about the hurricane because it's really important. I had started to say that our thoughts and prayers go out to the people in Puerto Rico. They've just come through some political turmoil, and I don't know what their state of preparation is. They've recently lost their entire government through corruption. And so our thoughts and prayers go out to them, and I'm pretty sure that the president and FEMA is responding to that to make sure they get everything. But what I want to talk about is here. My opinion, this one's going to bounce off. We're going to see a lot of rain on the East Coast. It'll lose some power as it comes up the coast. Hopefully, if it makes landfall, it's in a place that's not heavily populated, so it can expend some of that energy before it gets over a population center. However, my wife, I'll pick this up in a second. My wife and I, when we first came to Florida, it was right at the beginning of the school year, and we sent our kids to school, and the kids came home after 4 days, and they were like, Oh, we don't have to go to school tomorrow. I'm like, what are you talking about? No, we don't have to go to school tomorrow. It's a hurricane day. I was like, yeah, right. A hurricane day. Had to call the school to verify that they weren't going to have to go to school.
Wow.
Now, thankfully, we didn't get hit hard that year, 1999. But it was a great time for me to learn in the years we've been through a few. So my wife and I have something. And whether you're new or old, this is my hurricane box. And I've actually stuffed a few things. I usually have 3 or 4 of these, actually. And I want to go through this real quick. Things you can still get without driving yourself to be a hoarder. One of my favorite things is my wife and I, we actually, for each person in the house, we've done this for years. This is a casual bag. This is shorts, a t-shirt, a clean pair of socks. Notice it's in a Ziploc, because if you pack this stuff up and it gets wet, it's not going to do you any good. It'll be miserable. I do the same thing for dress clothes. This is an undershirt and a clean pair of dress socks. I actually will put some of my I've drawn a total mind blank. A casual shirt.
Undershirt?
No, what are you wearing? Tell
Polo.
me. A polo shirt. Woo! First cup of coffee. That's not a good thing. Polo shirts. I put some polo shirts in bags too, and some jeans and a pair of dress trousers. And I know it sounds nuts, but when you get out and you want to help people, one of the best things you can do if you're caught in a hurricane, power goes down, is to feel clean, to feel well dressed, to be in clean clothes, because you might not have power for a couple of days. Some of the other things you'll find in here. Now, don't tell my wife. I stole this box for today, okay? Paper towels usually in a bag. Toilet paper. A lot of people forget to put their toilet paper in a Ziploc bag. You know, if your toilet paper gets wet, you might not be able to get any. You know, I have ibuprofen because I have a wife. Power bars, some snacks, doggy treats. Don't forget your pets. You know, put some dog food and some doggy treats in a Ziploc bag to keep it dry. The things I really wanted to show you out of this bag, hand sanitizer. That's a no-brainer. Personal wipes. Okay, you can pick these up in any drugstore. And if you don't have water, if you don't have shower facilities, you can use these to clean yourself. And again, feel refreshed and it's not so depressing. But some of the things that I keep around are different kinds of flashlights. I love this one. All right, because look, you can talk about candles, but you don't add fire to your hurricane problem. So have this. It has a clip. It's an LED light. These things are super, super cheap. Okay. I'd have to play with it to get it to stay on, but they're super, super cheap, and they can clip somewhere and act like a candle. And, of course, if it's nighttime, when you lose power, I got to change my batteries. Oh, look at that. I do have to change my battery. Good thing I pulled this out.
That's actually a good point, because I know a lot of people who make preparation kits, but they don't go back and check the batteries.
Uh-huh.
And batteries, even though they're not being used, they only last so long.
That's right.
So that's a good idea. Prior to it coming up, check your batteries.
Yep. And my wife actually keeps a box, a smaller box, that's sealed, that has batteries that have never been opened, never been used. She has AA, AAA. She's got some the D batteries. So, anyways, I've probably gone on too long on that little bit, but just wanted to say, be prepared.
Yeah.
Okay. You probably don't have to freak out. I don't think here in South Lake we're gonna get much, but a lot of rain, a lot of wind. One of the things you can do, since this isn't supposed to hit us till Sunday, Monday, get out there on Saturday and pull down the loose limbs. Mm-hmm. You know, burn up that loose wood, whatever you can do. Make sure your furniture is either in a shed, you know, your lawn furniture, it's in a shed or something. So, anyways.
A couple of years ago when we had the hurricane, it wasn't bad, but we lost power.
Mm-hmm.
And we lost power a day after, and we lost it for 2 days. So and I live in a 55 and older community. That was bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing. You know, 55 plus. Make sure you have your medications. You know, if you're prescription's about to run out, on Monday, you might want to try to get that thing refilled today, tomorrow, the next day, so that if power's out, if the store's not open, if the doctor can't call in a prescription, the druggist ain't giving it to you. It's just that simple. So, anyways, enough about that. We're going to move on. I would like to welcome my guest, Otis Taylor of Give It A Foundation. Otis is actually a very incredible guy, and one of the reasons I really appreciate him coming out, because you all know this is one of our test runs. He's our first guest. Our official launch is again on the 23rd. Hey, Jay, are we scheduled for that ribbon cutting yet? Yes. Time?
Undecided yet.
Undecided. Okay, we'll bring you up to date on that later. But Otis is a good friend, and he's a great guy. He's joined the ambassadors at the chamber. And I'll tell you, one of the things that you learn about Otis very, very quickly is when he commits to something, he's serious about it. And he shows up and pitches in. And Otis is one of those guys that you can always guarantee you're going to see him moving tables or chairs, or just not taking over, not getting in the way, but doing what needs to be done to get the job done, just being available. And that's kind of what his foundation is about. When I heard about it, I thought it was an awesome idea, but I'm going to let him talk about that. Welcome, Otis. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Good.
Little confusion getting here, but other than that, I'm here.
Well,
I'm doing well.
We're going to change that in our instructions. We're going to fix that out.
No. Well, that was totally my fault.
No, actually, it wasn't. You're not the first guy to say that. I should have thought that out and said be here a little earlier and found a different way to direct. But we're correct that for the future guests. Tell us a little bit about your background, Otis. Who are you? How did you get to Lake County, and what kind of a background do you have?
I have. I'm originally from Chicago, and my background was actually in automotive. I spent 35 years in automotive. I had my own repair shop. Then I ended up working at a dealership where I started as a technician, went to shop foreman, then went to service manager, and then eventually parts manager. So I kind of work when it comes to the automotive. 2011, we moved to Clermont. And that year, 2011, my mother-in-law had a stroke, and she was living up in New Hampshire. So it left her with Alzheimer's, and she needed 24-hour care. So during that time, she didn't make preparations. A lot of us don't, for long-term care if something like that happened.
Yeah, none of us want to face it, right?
Yeah. It's one of those. So we ended up bringing her to, me and my wife, we brought her in the home, and we took care of her. So I quit.
Here in Claremont?
Here in
you brought
Claremont.
her to Claremont? Is that why you came to Claremont? Because
No, actually, the week we had moved, we were living in Orlando, and the week we moved here was the day we were closing on the house was the day that she had a stroke, and my wife had to go up and see what was going on. So she wasn't even in the picture when we moved, but when we did move in, we brought her down, and I quit my job, and I took care of her for 5.5 years.
So your full-time job was taking care of Mom.
Yes.
That's a common experience for men our age, to be in that spot, to go from the one that was, it's kind of a full circle thing, whereas Mom or Dad took care of us, now it's up to us to take care of them.
Yeah.
And so you did that full time.
I did it, full time. Quit my job, took care of her full time, and it's amazing. It turned out very well, and during the time I'm thinking I'm doing so much for her. Well, she passed away 2.5 years ago, but when I look back on it, I wasn't doing it for her. It was all for me, getting me where I need to be in life, and the Lord just turned my life completely around from what I was doing to where I am now, complete different person.
Now, you said you quit your job. Did you retire to do that?
No. At the time, I retired. I retired last 2 years ago now.
So shortly after Mom passed.
Yeah, but I wasn't old enough to retire, so I retired. I turned 62 a couple years ago, so then I retired. But other than that,
well, how did you handle that financially? A lot of guys in this spot, they're like, I got to take care of Mom, but we need both incomes.
It was It was tough because we were, me and my wife, decent incomes. We both were doing well. Then I quit, and then we take another person in, so it was just my wife working.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 persons on one income. It was challenging, but the Lord never allowed any. I mean, we have more now than we do when I was working. It's like He provided all the things. Now, I'm very handy. I've always been that way. And in my neighborhood, it's a 55 and older, so a lot of folks always needing little things here and there. So I was pretty handy as far as being able to go and help and do things like that for extra income. But the Lord provided.
So you were kind of like a rent-a-husband deal.
Yeah.
You need a chore done and rent the hubby.
Pretty much.
My wife would like to rent me out, but I'm not good at anything,
Yeah.
Not that people would pay for it, at least. Well, let me ask you this. Again, this is our community segment. Right. One of the reasons I wanted to bring you in today is because you're doing something so cool in the community. Can you Give a Day Foundation? Tell us a little bit about the Give a Day Foundation, what the genesis of that was, and what it is.
Okay, so when I started the foundation, I wanted to do something in the community. I was used to working, 10-hour days, just doing things. Well, when I quit my job to take care of my mother-in-law, a lot of the time she was bedridden. I mean, we got her up in a wheelchair and stuff like that, but it's not like. So I had a lot of free time,
mm-hmm.
and during that free time, I wanted to get out and do things in the community, get out and volunteer, do something just to stay active. And when I started doing that or looking to do that, there was just not the opportunities out there. There was a lot of opportunities with church, but you had to be a member. So it's like, okay, so
right.
So I said, okay, I see a need, I want to do something about it. So I started the foundation. Now, when I first started it, I wanted to be because I live in a 55 and older community. I actually wanted to do something that be able to have our seniors to come out and do things in the community.
Tell us what Give a Day Foundation is. Give us an idea of the precept and the concept.
So basically, it's a volunteer center where we go out in the community. My purpose was, I looked at a lot of nonprofit organizations. Like we had hospice coming in, and we had other people coming in helping. They were always needing help. So I'm like, how can I bridge the gap to maybe get people to go out that have the free time to help people like the hospice and other nonprofit organizations? So the whole thing was to get nonprofit organizations that have very good missions, to give them some support to help them fulfill the mission.
One of the things that I really like about Give a Day, and one of the things that really kind of attracted me to Otis when I first heard about it, was he really has bridged a gap. I had kids that I tried to put into the Bright Future Scholarship, and they have to have certain volunteer hours, and it was tough because a lot of organizations wanted you to volunteer like all the time. And, they wanted you to be able to come out every week or twice a month. And you may not have the same time available every single week. It's hard for them to make a schedule. And volunteers get burned out,
yes. Mm-hmm.
Going to the same thing all the time. That many times they get sucked up into the internal conflicts within the organization. So when Otis told me about this, I was really very intrigued because I saw a place where if somebody has a single day, they can say to Otis, hey, I'm available on Saturday, or Saturday, 2 Saturdays from now, I'd like to go do something with my kids. Otis coordinates the volunteers who have the time with the organizations who may have either ongoing needs or event needs. And I've seen Otis tap volunteers to help an organization that was struggling to get enough volunteers to get the job done, to just descend on them with a group and just fill it out. So you intended to put this thing together with just seniors.
Well, I had that in mind. Yeah.
Right.
I figured that, okay, we can get our seniors out the house and get them back active again. Well, as of today, I would say 90% of our volunteers are high schoolers. And so it took a complete, I didn't even think about high schoolers at the time, but it took a complete flip. And so 90% of our volunteers are high schoolers because, like you mentioned earlier, in high school, if you're volunteering, you get scholarships for college. And so that's what we do.
Do you think that's the reason? What do you think is the reason that 90% of your volunteers are high schoolers?
Well, I know as I lived in a 55 and older community now for a few years. And at the time when I moved there, I was moving into a 55 and older community because I wanted to live in a neighborhood that was pretty quiet and, figure everybody was mature and stuff like that. But I found that a lot of seniors don't want to have anything to do with people anymore. They're like burnt out. They're like, okay, I'll do something with a dog or whatever. But when it comes to people, so and with the youth, they want to get out and do things. Like we started another program under Give a Day called Champion Circle, but that's just with young men. But they want to do things. So not only do they want to volunteer. Not only do they volunteer because they need to, a lot of them want to.
Now, when you say because they need to, are you getting people that the courts may have said you have to do community service, or are you more getting kids that are, they want to give back? Because this is a generation that's more socially aware.
I say, so a couple years, maybe 5 years ago, the court system came to me and wanted to know if I could help some of these young people that straight off. Mm-hmm. So we do get a small percentage, but I would say 80% of our young volunteers, 85% are just young kids that want to make a difference.
Wow.
I would say the majority of, like during the summer, so I did the farmers market for 6 years. There are 6 years, every week, we always have volunteers because they want to get out. During the summer, they want to be doing something. So it's like a job, even though they're not getting paid. They want to just get out and do things. So,
do you know? You mentioned, is it Circle of Champions? Called
Champion Circle.
Champion Circle. Mm-hmm. Otis again is constantly improving, and it's one of the cool things about Otis is that you really get this. Again, he's not going to take over, but I get the feeling when I met you, I had this impression that you're there to help, but you're also going to make observations, and you're going to be constantly improving. I'm sure this has been a theme of your life. You're always improving the systems or the processes. So he has this program that he started called Champion Circle. Tell us a little bit about that, because I know you just finished doing that just before school ended.
We just finished the summer portion. So Champion Circle I started 3 years ago, and again, it was because of a need. We're getting volunteers, students every week, and there was an incident that happened in the community, and there were 4 young men that were breaking in cars. They had just graduated out of high school, and they were breaking in cars. So when it flashed across the TV, I'm looking at it like, oh man, I know one of these dudes. So I looked at the guy and I'm like, and my heart dropped. It's like he volunteered, he was in high school, but he didn't go any farther. So I said, I want to do something with these young people. Volunteering is good, but make more of a structured program. And I noticed it more with our young men than the young women. So I started a program. It's called Champion Circle, and it's a youth empowerment program. And we focus on identity discovery, health awareness, career development, financial identity, and volunteerism. So to be part of the program, they don't have, it's not a fee involved, but they have to volunteer so many hours a month to be part of it. And
now, during the program or leading up to the program? They have to qualify, right?
To stay in the program, they have to volunteer.
How do they qualify for the program?
Well, I go out, most of these young men I know, so I'll go out, because I go to all the high schools, and we talk about it, and then those that come forward, we say, okay, what do you want to do, where you want to go, how you want to get there. We're doing a little bit different next year. We're going to actually be taking some of these young men that say have C, DC average, and we want to see if we can actually take that and bring them up to the next level, because we're actually doing a little bit more this year, like you had mentioned the summer. So started June 1st, every Friday and Saturday up until August 10th, we had something going on.
Give us an idea of some of what that was. I know you had classes and you bring mentors in.
So we have a workshop that we bring different people in throughout the community. We started with Mayor Ash. She came in and she just talked to the young man to let them know that she's proud that they're part of the city and that they have a vision to do something greater. So she kind of kicked it off, and then we've gone to the police department, fire department, water treatment facility, so they can see how all these facilities work, and even not only just to say how they work, but if they have an unction to be a fireman, what it's about, So we do those type of events. I mean, we actually also went out. We done gun shooting, where it was gun safety, show them how to handle a gun, and then have fun shooting, like we did ski shoot.
Pigeons, yeah.
And so we go out to different facilities. We've gone to the hospital. We had doctors come out to talk to them, and we have construction guys come out. We had the people from the armed forces come out. So it's just, first of all, giving them options that they know that there are things that they can do, whether it be college, if they decide to go that way, or trade. We're trying to work on both ends just to give them something where they have options.
Great. I'm always impressed by people like you that manage to tap into kids, because so many people just want to judge the next generation. They want to paint them with a broad brush and say, well, millennials, all of that. As a matter of fact, I was somewhere the other day and they actually made a comment about millennials. And it was all the bad things about millennials. And, my take on that was, those are the vocal millennials. There's a whole part of that generation that you never hear from. Yeah. They're just like we were, trying to figure it out.
and I think that's the key. I looked at it as, and you hear that a lot. You hear, oh, those bad kids. Well, they're our bad kids. And if we make it better for them, it's going to be better for us, because they're going to be taking care of us.
Right.
And so if we don't do anything to make preparations, it's going to fall back on us.
So we need to take responsibility.
Right.
Otis, this has been great, man. I really appreciate you coming out. The Otis has a website. I think we can get that up. Can we get that up? Thank you. You want to talk about this website at all, Otis? How do people get in touch with you through it?
So, okay.
It's right there if you want to look at it.
So the website is, that's a window to us. It sort of tells about us, what we do.
Okay.
And then once a person sign up on the website, it puts them to a scheduling.
Oh, good.
And the scheduling has a calendar, and the calendar has different events that they can sign up for.
Great. Well, that's been our Otis Taylor and Give a Day Foundation. Actually, he doesn't know it yet, but I also know Otis's son, David. And David is going to soon be a part of our South Lake community, and so I'm actually going to get him out here. He does some cool stuff too, but we'll talk about that when the time comes. He's down the road.
I also wanted to add, with Champion Circle, so we have a summer slot that we do, but now that school is back, we continue with these kids for the whole year.
Oh, great.
So we actually mentor them. We broke them off into smaller groups. We do one-on-one mentoring, so we take them to basketball games or go to their games, or just do things throughout the whole school year with them. So
great. Again, learn something new every day. Hey, I just want to say thanks to everybody. I want to say thanks to Otis. Obviously, there's some really cool people in our community doing some great things. Well, I just want to say thank you to our sponsors. We'll be back in a little bit. And we're going to talk about what's going on tomorrow, and maybe get a few things. If you need to get in touch with Otis, the website is giveadayfoundation.org.
Giveadayfoundation.org.
www.giveadayfoundation.org. Yes, I know my children will tell me that saying www dot means I'm old. Well, I am, okay? So, Give a Day .org. Please go there if you know a kid or you yourself need to get out.
Yeah.
Otis still takes adults.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we still have adults.
Thank you very much. I want to say thank you to the sponsors, and this is a message from them, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Erica's Tea Room. Located in the heart of downtown Clearmont, this specialty tea shop offers a traditional high tea experience that can be enjoyed with family and friends. While here, you can choose from over 100 teas from all over the world, and a multitude of teapots are available for purchase. Join us for lunch or choose from one of our special evening events. Call to make a reservation. Erica's Tea Room, making memories with every cup.
Saturday night, October 5th, Claremont, Florida, get ready as local pro wrestling presents Fight Fest, featuring 6 hard-hitting matches, including Austin Avalon, Ali Mohammed, Jake Shadows, the British chap D-Wayne, Danny Malo, Josh Dawkins, and former TNA superstar Mr. 630 Jarrell Clark. Matches already announced: the Technical Alchemist, David Mercury, against Aaron Epic. In the semi-main event, a 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal. And the main event for the evening, former WWF WCW superstar, the Cuban Assassin, takes on the marquee Bruce Santee. Adult tickets are $15 and children ages 5 to 12 are only $10. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite. For more details, follow us on Facebook at Local Pro Wrestling or visit localprowrestling.com. Come support local pro wrestling live.
Welcome to Erica's Tea Room. Located in the heart of downtown Clearmont, this specialty tea shop offers a traditional high tea experience that can be enjoyed with family and friends. While here, you can choose from over 100 teas from all over the world, and a multitude of teapots are available for purchase. Join us for lunch or choose from one of our special evening events. Call to make a reservation. Erica's Tea Room, making memories with every cup.
Saturday night, October 5th, Claremont, Florida, get ready as local pro wrestling presents Fight Fest, featuring 6 hard-hitting matches, including Austin Avalon, Ali Mohammed, Jake Shadows, the British chap D-Wayne, Danny Malo, Josh Dawkins, and former TNA superstar Mr. 630 Jarrell Clark. Matches already announced: the Technical Alchemist, David Mercury, against Aaron Epic. In the semi-main event, a 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal. And the main event for the evening, former WWF WCW superstar, the Cuban Assassin, takes on the marquee Bruce Santee. Adult tickets are $15 and children ages 5 to 12 are only $10. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite. For more details, follow us on Facebook at Local Pro Wrestling or visit localprowrestling.com. Come support local pro wrestling live.
Welcome to Erica's Tea Room. Located in the heart of downtown Clearmont, this specialty tea shop offers a traditional high tea experience that can be enjoyed with family and friends. While here, you can choose from over 100 teas from all over the world, and a multitude of teapots are available for purchase. Join us for lunch or choose from one of our special evening events. Call to make a reservation. Erica's Tea Room, making memories with every cup.
My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake. Okay, welcome back. Hey, and once again, I didn't get a chance to mention the sponsors as much as I did yesterday. As much as I did yesterday, but hang on, we're live. Welcome, Doris. This is the purpose of wrapping up, so it's okay. Again, I want to say thank you so much to Mary Rhodes, who is my first sponsor, an amazing mortgage broker. You will hear more about her, and I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to say thank you to Otis Taylor and the Give a Day Foundation for sending him here. You need any information about them, you can check them out through their website, giveaday.org. And if you want to be a guest on Joe Knows South Lake, or you know somebody who should be, please reach out to me at onejoeknows@gmail.com or just shoot me a message. You can find my phone number on that email. Anyways, we're having a rough morning. I'm having a rough morning.
They're moving next door.
Yeah, they're moving next door. It's all crazy today. Let me see. Oh, and if you'd like to advertise on southlake.tv, or you think you'd be a good sponsor for Joe Knows South Lake, I would love to have you. I'd love to talk to you about it. Amazing opportunities in that realm. You can get TV for a price you may not have thought you could. So give me a call. Reach out to me at onejoeknows@gmail.com. And I want to say thank you very much. Tomorrow, we have Carl Norman from Trinity Enterprises. This is going to be our home front section. All about real estate and housing, and he is actually going to talk to us about repairing credit. So make sure you tune in, 10 a.m. I'll see you then. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Jay. And don't forget, this has been Joe Knows South Lake. Now you know South Lake. There is greatness within you. Dare to let it out, and I love you. Bye-bye. My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake.